Hello, good morning. This is Hamid Khan here from Food Mahir and Gardening Ideas. Today I'm going to show you my ferns, the Boston fern, one of the most demanding fern. Fern is my life. Here is the another one. It has even longer fronds. And this one is quite out of shape and it needs a lot of pruning. It is in a terracotta pot. So we'll talk about the pruning, we'll talk about the watering, we'll talk about the lighting, we'll talk about the positioning, and we'll talk about the fertilizers for these ferns. As I said, fern is my life, but look at that. This has been there under night blooming jasmine for a while. But let me start with the other one. So I'll start with this. Okay, now while I'm pruning, I have my pruning scissors, and while pruning I will take you through about its facts and the health benefits. I mean, this is a typical indoor fern plant. I don't keep it indoors because I travel a lot and it's a bit difficult for me to maintain the plants indoors. I'm an outdoor planter. So what I do normally, I put them under a shaded tree or where these can get some a couple of hours of indirect sun. Morning sun is good. No way it can tolerate an afternoon sun. So be very careful, guys, that these ferns, they are meant to be in a shaded position under indirect bright light sun. Pruning is important. It needs a bit of a humid environment as well. You can see there are some leaves which are, because it was under the night blooming jasmine, so I have to clean it as well. We have to cut all these brown leaves, yellow leaves as well. You can see here, just to bring it to its shape. So coming back to its positioning, indirect sun is good, shaded area is good, under the tree is good. Best temperatures that these ferns, Boston ferns, can tolerate is between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. It's been a warm summer or a hot summer here in Sydney. We have been witnessing temperatures soaring 40, 45, 42 degrees Celsius. So, but these were kept under the tree, but you can see here the effect of that high temperature, that I have a lot of brown shoots. If you are putting in a hanging baskets or in pots, then you can relocate it in different areas which are shaded and just to avoid the direct sunlight. I don't like to fertilize them a lot. If you want to fertilize it, just fertilize it with a very mild liquid fertilizer, just half strength or a quarter strength. Seaweed fertilizer, fish and seaweed fertilizer, and a mild fertilizer. Don't go heavy on the fertilizers, because they are very delicate plants. As I said, they are my life. It has been scientifically proven that green color and green shade gives you a very soothing effect. These are stress relievers. Having them in my sideways or in my backyard, they just add an enormous benefit, overall look of the garden. So let me now start pruning it. There are quite a lot of leaves and other dry shoots that needs to be pruned. I want to just bring it back to shape. I can really cut this as well because this is turned yellowish, but I won't be touching the green one. It is so lush green simply because it was not subjected to the direct sun. New Year and Christmas holiday these days here in Australia. I have a bit of a time to go through the pruning process and to bring these ferns again to life. Okay, if you want to plant it, what kind of potting mix or a soil you need? Always, if you're planting it in a ground under a shade, then a well-drained soil is good. If you are planting it in a potting mix, then you need to have some perlite, some peat, good premium potting mix. it might be a good idea to put them in a plastic container rather than, or plastic pots rather than terracotta pots, because terracotta pots, they dry very quickly. These needs to be moist and damp. Some use a lot of mist and spray to keep it humid. Moist, to be honest, it's good, but it's the more important point is to keep the soil moist. And when we see that the weather is getting warmer, then we need to really water it a bit. Don't over water it, but if you are using a well-drained soil, then just water it, once a week at least. It depends on your temperature, climate conditions as well. So don't go heavy on your fertilizers. Keep it simple. Don't use chemical fertilizers. Go with the organic ones and try to use the liquid fertilizers. The best is to use some rainwater to water it because sometimes the water hardness is high, and that could also not being an ideal condition for these ferns. So let me keep pruning this, and I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, this one is almost done, but I think I have to repot it at one time in a bigger pot. Let me start with the bigger one and the difficult one. All right, as you can see here, this one has been here for quite a while, and I have really neglected it a lot. It needs some real serious pruning of the dry shoots like this, and just to bring this back to shape. One of the disadvantages of putting it under the shaded tree is that you end up having a lot of leaves falling into the pot, and you have to keep on cleaning it, otherwise they can then cause some rotting. That's all part of the game. Okay, so let me continue pruning this, and then I will show you in a while. All right, so this is almost done, and I will continue pruning it. And this one is also not bad. Really have to maybe repot some of these, and now I'll show you the third one that I have just repotted it in a bigger pot, and I will just wait till it gets its roots stronger, and then I will start pruning that as well. This is the third one. I have repotted it in a bigger one. That needs a bit of a pruning as well. And that's all from Food Mahir and Gardening Ideas. Keep watching my channel. I'll continue pruning this and repot them when they're needed. And until then, bye.